Hello and welcome to Adventures in Venueland, an EVMC podcast. Join us for this all-access pass backstage and behind the scenes with some of the brightest minds that cross the scope of the live event industry. I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. We'll introduce you to incredible guests who journey with us as we dive deep into the world of venues, tours, festivals, and everything in between. Grab your laminate and meet us in Venueland.
Today's adventure takes us to the Corpus Christi area. We're going to talk with a sports and entertainment professional with over 14 years of experience. She built her career from intern to leadership roles, from SMG to ASM to OVG. She's done all the initials, and she's currently the director of sales at the RMB Fairgrounds. Please welcome Krystal Gonzalez. Krystal, great to talk to you.
Great to be here and be with you guys. I'm so excited for this.
We had a chance to meet you at the last EVMC down in was Atlanta, right, Paul?
Yes.
They get a little blurry.
I know. It's true. You go to a couple, they all turn into one conference.
But Krystal, I'm very excited to talk to you because you kind of represent, fairground. We haven't had a lot of guests from the fairground side of things, and you guys do some amazing stuff, especially when you look at, your role and kind of how you went from the marketing side to director of sales. So really excited to get into it with you. But talk to me about the RMB Fairgrounds, because that's an abbreviation for a longer name. But tell us about your venue currently.
Yeah, so we are Richard M. Borchard Regional Fairgrounds, mouthful. So we typically just say RMB Fairgrounds. We are it's kind of hard to explain. We're a small facility, or viewed as a small facility, but we have a conference center, we have 2 exhibit halls, we have an arena pavilion, and we have an equestrian arena. So we have a big footprint. So we do a lot here, a lot of variety of events, come from social events to, oh my gosh, a bunch of expos. We do rodeos. We've done a cattle barons ball. So our equestrian arena gets flipped into a big banquet, basically 1,000 people on dirt, we flatten the dirt. So you name it. I feel like we do it here. We've done concerts in the equestrian arena. So, it's just all over the place. There's not one specific event type that we do. We kind of do it all.
That is so interesting. You all have an equestrian arena, which is not something foreign to me living in Kentucky, but that's not super common. Like, we have some here, of course. And obviously down in Texas, big rodeo culture down there, huge rodeo, events across the state. But it's got to be a little interesting kind of having something start as an equestrian arena. Like you said, the floor naturally is dirt. In an equestrian arena versus, a typical arena where it might be concrete. But then you can certainly build anything on top of that, like you said. So it's really adaptable. But that's going to be, is it kind of fun when you're talking to maybe different event companies or promoters where you're adapting a building that maybe they're not as used to?
Yeah. So it's when people want to have events here, they don't realize the capacity that we have. And so they want to do things in like our conference center because that's the aesthetically pleasing place. But, when they want to branch out, we're like, hey, we have the equestrian, we can flatten the dirt, we can do this, we can put lights up for you. We can do so much in the area that it's just, they don't realize it until they see it and they see the big space that it is. So we love to push it because, like I said, they don't realize what we have. And then when they see the space, they're just in awe of it. It's like we can do so much here. And so it's great to see their eyes widen and be like, whoa, like this is not something we expected. So it's definitely really cool to push that and let them see what we can do and how we can fulfill their needs in what they're looking for.
Yeah, you could, like you were saying, you kind of host pretty much everything from concerts to trade shows. So how do you position that versatility as a strength?
It's kind of hard, to be honest, because there's so much that we can do. Pushing it as our strength, that's where we're marketing wise, we really try to focus on different aspects, different things we push at different times, because there's so many expos, there's so many different trade shows that we do. We try to take pictures of everything, because when you can explain it to people as much as you can, but seeing a visual, that's where everybody, they want to see that. And so when they actually get that visual, so marketing wise, we've done videos of, we've done drones, we've done all of that. We put it all together so that we can showcase it to them. Like, this is what we've done in the past. This is what we can do. It doesn't have to be this way, but here's an idea to get your ball rolling on your thoughts of the capabilities that we can do for you, or you can do here. So we definitely try to push the versatility of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are all the venues kind of in pretty close proximity to each other? So when you get like a big trade show, are they potentially taking over multiple spaces and kind of using all of them in different ways? And then I'm sure there's other smaller things that are maybe just using one space or just a part of one space.
Yeah. So our 2 exhibit halls are connected to the arena pavilion. So they are connected through doors and roll-up doors. So sometimes they'll have the roll-up door open, and they'll, have the trade show portion in one section, and then have like a general session in the big arena. Sure. So they'll connect them all, and they're our facilities are pretty close to each other, but they are, to get to the conference center, to the arena pavilion, is a walk. And then, of course, the equestrian is separated. But yeah, they perfect example would be our Nueces County Junior Livestock Show, who comes in and they take over the entire facility. They use the conference center. They use both exhibit halls, the arena pavilion, and the equestrian. They use everything. So there's people everywhere, all over the place at any time of the day. Like, it's a lot, but it's really cool to see the facility fully in use on those times. So I definitely enjoy seeing the crowds here.
You have a lot of repeat business, I'm guessing, right? People come back year after year.
Yeah, so definitely with the couple of trade shows, we have a gun show. We just got a second market show that's coming in. She'll be here 7 times a year, and then we have a peddler show that's here 3 times a year. And then a lot of repeat banquets or repeat in the local area. They utilize us a lot. So we definitely do have a lot of repeat business.
Tell us about your role. What does it mean to be director of sales?
Ooh, that's a heavy one, because the difference with our venue versus a lot of other venues and a lot of my past experience is that this venue is set up way differently. It's so small with a big footprint, but we all wear, I know everybody feels this, we all wear multiple hats. And here even more so, because we have such a small team. So with the small team, comes a lot of picking up the slack where it's needed to make sure the event goes well. So with my role specifically, I do the booking of all the events, all the inquiries, all the proposals, all the contracts. They come to me, and I handle that. But aside from that, I also handle a little bit of accounting. So that's another hat that I wear. So yeah, I do accounting, and I help with the invoices and sending out the invoices, collecting payments, processing payments. So there's that on top of it. And then of course, when we're so busy and have multiple events, our event manager, we only have one event manager. And so his handling the conference center, the event happening in the conference center, and he needs help with something in the exhibit hall. So I'm heading over there to help him out, to make sure that, everybody's taken care of as much as they can. So that's event management side. So like I said, we all wear so many different hats here. I help my general manager, and then of course,
you came from the world of marketing. So how did you learn all this stuff?
So,
because I'm not good at math. You say accounting, I get nervous.
It's a lot of the invoicing mostly that I try to help out with, and then of course the processing of the payment that took a little bit for me to learn, but on the experience wise, going back, I've just been in so many roles that I feel like all of those roles help build me to who I am today, to be able to be so versatile in everything that I do. My skills with business, with operations, with HR, just everything has just built me to to be here and help out as much as I can in any way I can, and almost to a fault, really, because I stretch myself so thin sometimes that
Sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know we
I
all
get it.
feel that too.
I get it. Yeah.
Feeling that way today.
Yeah. Sometimes we put it on ourselves too. It's not
Yeah.
even
Oh
Yes,
asked of
yeah.
yeah,
us.
Oh
yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, no, 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 I can do that. And it's like, but should I do that?
Right, exactly.
That can be some of the blessing and the curse of a small team, right? Having worked on both, it's I guess the good side of it. The bad side is obviously there's a lot of hats being worn, a lot of people being stretched, but you do get exposed to so many different types of things. So I mean, I think that does uniquely prepare you to wear those hats, and it gives you adaptability to where if you are moving into a new role or you're moving to a new venue or whatever it is, you've kind of dipped your toe in all these different areas out of necessity, but it's kind of helped you, whereas other people that maybe, have, a huge team and they just need to stay in one little lane, they're less
Yeah.
exposed to that.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where I came from, with being with the American Bank Center for 8 years, and now it's called Hilliard. But being there, I went through so many different roles that I really feel it's helped me so much to grow in that sense, professionally, and I truly embrace it wholeheartedly now. I mean, sure, back then it was like, oh my gosh, there's so much, and now it's a full understanding, full circle of where I'm at right now. So I definitely embrace it wholeheartedly.
So who are your competitors locally?
So it would be Hilliard, and the Ortiz Center. So they both have conference centers. So that's where our competition truly lies, because we have banquets, a lot of banquets here. So we all kind of not fight for those clients, but there's specific events that happen that reoccur every year that we all trying to get. And of course, the price is competitive, the location is competitive. Some people want to be by the water, some people don't care to be by the water, they want the price. So that's where our competition truly lies with each other, on the quality of service, the cost per person, and the location. Those are the three biggest items that our clients tend to look for. So just depending on what they want, that's where they end up going.
And what is, I guess, for people that haven't been to Corpus Christi, it's obviously in the huge state of Texas, and people may have gone to some other cities, but what's the kind of lay of the land? Where is it at in Texas? And also, what other things are kind of in the city that maybe, people might recognize, or that, Corpus Christi is known for, that maybe someone who's never been wouldn't know about?
So Corpus is called the Sparkling City by the Bay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the biggest thing here is the Texas State Aquarium. I know that's on the national
Interesting.
level when it comes to aquariums. And we do have a rescue center here also in Corpus area. So it's really cool for the sea turtles and any kind of aquatic animal that, we find. There's so many that come up to the shore, or people find, especially turtles. So they take them to the facility, and they baby them and put them back into the water. They help in that sense. So we have a beautiful beach. We have, of course, that's a big hot spot for spring break. It's not the biggest like South Padre Island, so we're 3 hours away from South Padre. So I know that's like the tip of Texas. We're right at we're in between Rio Grande Valley and Houston, or Galveston,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, pretty far south, to your point. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
not all the way on the tip, but I mean, you're pretty far down there.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah, south of like San Antonio, kind of close to the water.
I mentioned this only because Paul is, in Lexington, but you have the USS Lexington Museum there.
Yes, we do have the USS Lexington. That's the Blue Ghost, they call it.
Look at that, horses, Lexington. This is the Corpus Christi Lexington connection we didn't know about.
Yeah, y'all should come visit for sure.
Well, obviously, you've got a lot of a variety of events going on. So because obviously we know so many people listening are, hey, we do concerts and maybe we do some sporting events, but you have such a variety of things. Is that something you enjoy, and what's challenging about that to you?
I definitely enjoy it. I mean, I love the variety. I love this industry so much because it's never the same. Everything every day could be different. I mean, I am not one for the I love structure, but if my job was the same thing every single day, I think I would be so bored. And here, there's always something different. There's always somebody wanting something that's different. When it comes to the concerts and the shows, so we've had a Moto Extreme dirt bike show and everything in the equestrian. So I mean, it's just crazy how random the events we have here. But promoter wise, I mean, I would. It is a challenge because we're not built for that. So as much as we want all those things to happen here, concerts, any kind of comedy shows, like we're just they originally built this facility for the livestock show. And that was the only thing they had in mind. So trying to adjust the facility to fit any kind of show can be a struggle, can be a challenge for us. So we are working on getting better sound, getting better everything, really, just because, like I said, it was not built for that. So we want those things. We want to continue to move forward towards those things. So any kind of concerts that come through, they're having to bring in their own sound. We're trying to make sure that we have enough electrical power for them, things like that. There's a lot of challenges we face in those realms, but we are working to move towards that so that we can provide those things for them. So going to conferences, meeting different people, meeting different businesses that can do that for us. We're looking at it. We're reaching out to them. We're hoping that one day we can get it fully situated here to be able to accommodate, relieve that challenge, really.
Yeah, it really is interesting too to like see and follow these like venue trends, and it varies city to city, but often to your point with that facility, it's like cities will be like, we have this need, let's build for this need, and they don't
Yes.
necessarily project further out, thinking and how it's hard to project further out, to be frank, but further out of like, well, what if this other need comes up and can we adapt to that? And so often, maybe on a less complicated scale of what you're talking about, but arenas would be built for hockey or built for basketball or built for something, right, and they're being like adapted into entertainment venues. And there are challenges with that, just because of like, especially if it's an older building, it's like it's got some interesting bones you have to work around, and then just rigging grids have to be updated because things are getting heavier, and there's more and more trucks. So it is interesting that it's like it's like we built this for a rodeo, but now like we've got a million other events. So it's like, how can you kind of use what you have and make it adaptable? And it's it can be a pain point, but it's probably also a fun little challenge.
It is. It's interesting, that's for sure. Every time a new show comes in, that challenge hits, and we're trying to ask all the questions. And thankfully, with some of my experience in operations and with rigging and having that knowledge as an event coordinator, I see people hanging things off of a pipe, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, that is not okay. So I mean, there's people will do crazy things. And so things like that, having that experience and having helping the team here also in that aspect is a challenge. But I mean, we all work together here. So it's really neat.
Yeah, and any sort of venue that, not to throw conventions under the bus, but I'm sure this is kind of what you're talking about, is you will bring in these conventions and have these exhibitors, and they will try to do anything they can get away with in a facility.
Absolutely.
They're going to tape stuff to the walls. They're going to be
Yes.
throwing wires around everything, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, it's like you really have to kind of watch them, because exhibitors are kind of just like, well, whatever, whatever it takes to get it done. And, sometimes your facility or safety is, not as on the forefront.
Oh yeah. They've taped so many things to the wall and taken off our paint. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's always something.
It is.
So as director of sales, how much business are you chasing? Obviously you've got the great annual business. You built that good reputation, but how often what percentage of your day are you spending going out there trying to drum up new business?
You want me to be honest?
As honest as you want to be.
So I get a lot of proposals. I really do. And I feel so blessed in that way that I'm overwhelmed with proposals. So
Yeah.
right now
It's a good
I am
problem. Yeah.
not doing too much as far as getting myself out there. And we did for a good chunk of time. And I feel like all of that time that we were doing that has pushed us so much that I'm just nonstop with proposals that I don't even have the time to go out as much
Yeah,
as I would
sure.
love to. Um, I want to be part of different organizations. I want to do the networking. I just, with the
Hours in
amount
the
of,
day.
yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah, I
there's
get it.
not enough hours in the day to get myself out there. I do still try, but I am just flooded with proposals. So I'm blessed in that sense that I haven't, and I don't technically need to right now. But if the time comes, I am pushing myself out there. I've done it with Sarah before, with marketing, going out there all the time. So definitely putting myself out there as I can. Right now, it's crunch time for us. We're getting a lot of events in April and May, so I don't know if I'll be able to get myself out there. Percentage wise, I'm not a 5%.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned marketing because, obviously you've got that background, and when an event comes to an arena, so often the arena folks are tasked with, hey, how's our event doing? Are we selling? As opposed to, when it's a convention. So what is your relationship with marketing, and what do you have to do for the events at your building?
So it is very different here. So coming from the arena side, you received graphics from the show, the sizes you needed, everything you needed, you received from the show. When I first started here as marketing, I didn't get any of that. I nothing, and it was my responsibility. And I got blamed, of course, in marketing. You get blamed if the ticket sales aren't good, So that happens.
I
And
don't know what you're talking
so
about. That never happens. And by never, I mean always happens.
Yes, yes.
always, yeah. So what I ended up doing was, after being blamed for it, I went and did my own research and found their graphic, and of course had to resize it for everything that I was doing or everything that I needed it for, and pushed it as much as I could on my end. And it, like I said, it's very different here. The clientele wasn't familiar with the system and what it should be as far as providing those items, and they're still not. There's a lot of times where they're like, oh, it's not up on the marquee. And did you provide it to me? No. Got it. Okay.
Well, that's
Well,
why. Yeah.
Let me solve this mystery for you.
exactly. So I mean, I try to be as accommodating as possible. So right now, as taking on the marketing side of it, I do try to put it, I try to gauge my time in coordinating that and putting it on the website. I'm not doing such a great job right now since I'm taking on that role. That's another hat that I have right now. So I am taking on that role, and I feel like I am kind of slacking in it only because I have many other hats on at this time.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
the marketing side of it, with events, I do try to push it. I do try to get it out there. And like I said, it is different here. And when it comes to the ticket sales, we don't do any ticketing here at
Yeah.
all.
So
And
on
and I
the
think,
event side, yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fairgrounds, and I think I've noticed that with other fairgrounds as well, is that they don't have a ticketing system. Everybody who comes into the event and they are a ticketed event, they do it all themselves. They bring the ticket takers, they sell them on their own through Eventbrite or whatever website. They do it all on their own. So eventually, I think we're going to move to bringing our own ticketing system inside, but right now it's just um, everybody handle it on their own, and we just provide the service of the facility and the staffing.
Yeah. Yeah. And really to Dave's point and yours, it's like when you're getting in these clients like these trade shows, they sort of have their own marketing wings usually under their staff, and they've got their own ticketing, and it is quite a different thing than like an arena side where there's so much of that is leaning on that local person.
Yeah, and then you go into the fees, and everybody here in this area, I mean, I swear everybody just gets so upset. We started charging for parking and we charged $5 and we got so many negative comments about the parking. It's like it's $5,
I
guys.
know. Is
Like
that it's also relative too, right? Like you go to LA, they're like, yeah, of course it's $50 for a spot 6 blocks from the venue. And you're like, what?
right. Yeah, and we're here on the property, and they're getting upset for $5. So
Yeah,
when it comes to the ticketing system, that's also something that we're going to be looking at is the fees and how
sure.
the public around here will really take that and how they'll take that. That's another obstacle we'll have to overcome for sure.
Krystal, what's your biggest challenge in 2026 when it comes to work?
Oh, biggest challenge.
She's like, how long do you have?
No kidding. For me, I want more bookings. I know
Sure.
we're busy as we can be, but I still see some empty dates. I still see empty weeks, and I as a salesperson, you don't want to see that. Everybody in operations and events gets mad at me because I book 3 things on one day kind of deal, and they get upset. But that's my job. So,
Right.
you know, they don't typically like sales, but it's okay. I got a job to do, and my boss loves that, the bookings that I do. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, no, that's going to be my biggest challenge right now because the competition is real here with the convention side. That is where we make our most money because of food and beverage.
Sure.
So every year, of course, we try to make budget. That is the ultimate goal, is making budget and getting more revenue. And so right now, my biggest challenge is looking at last year's numbers and going above and beyond what I did last year to this year. And right now, we have another facility. The Ortiz Center actually reopened because they did renovations. So the concern is that some of my business that I've already booked is going to go to them because they're on the water, and you get a beautiful view and
Sure.
all of
And
that.
it's
And
the new shiny toy, right? Like,
exactly. So
yeah,
there was already one event that went there, and after I was already speaking to them last year, they were not leaving the facility that they were at, but they did, and they went to the one that just reopened. So I was like, God, man, I could have had that. It's one of those challenges that it's just like, why didn't I get in front of that?
but
So
do
definitely
you
that's
not that you enjoy it, but is there some kind of like fun in the competitiveness of it, right? Like you're kind of like, oh, I could have had it, but doesn't that kind of like give you a little drive? I'm sure.
yes, definitely, and especially because I know the new general manager at the Ortiz Center. I'm friends with her, and so I joke with her like, you stole that, like we play around with that. So different thing, like it's a friendly competition. We don't like truly fight over it, but we battle on the pricing, battle on
Sure,
all
sure,
of that stuff on the customer service. So it is fun, and the hardest thing for me is that I think that they have more free time only because they have multiple people that do the other things that I'm doing. And
sure,
so when
sure.
it comes to that, they get that leg up to get out there, to get in front of the clients. So it is fun, but at the same time, I'm like, I know I need to, like, if I have a million things I need to do and then I see one come through, I'm like, I really want this one. I have to put everything aside and, focus on this one client.
Right,
And
right.
it's fun, but it also sets me back. But I really like, I need this, I have that drive to make sure that I take care of them and put them, like, you are my top priority.
Krystal, I love how honest and open you are about so many things. So let me ask you this question: there's a lot of people listening today who are thinking about going back to school to get their master's degree. You did that. You graduated from Texas A&M in Corpus Christi, and then almost a decade later went back to get your master's. What drove you to that decision, and how do you feel it helped you?
Um, Honestly, my husband, I mean, he showed me that, sports hospitality was out there. I was like, I've never even heard of that. That's so cool. And that is my ultimate goal, is to get to an arena that has a sports team. Cause everything about me is sports related. I love sports. I love being around sports. And then I found the passion in premium services. So going into that with the sports hospitality, getting my master's was just it felt like the right thing and the right time. It was, COVID was happening. I was at home. I was able to do the classwork and everything, and the drive behind it was so immense for me. And then the classes, the professors were just so engaging and so knowledgeable in the industry. It really drove me even further to want to be a part of the premium services of sports, of the hospitality side, and learning the aspect of hospitality. So in my previous role with premium services, I didn't do a lot with hospitality. I helped out as much as I could, but I didn't have the knowledge behind it. So getting that knowledge through my master's definitely helped to push me. And unfortunately, COVID hit, or COVID was going on, and then I became part of the layoffs with American Bank Center. So that kind of took a stab at me, but
Yeah.
but I mean, I still have that knowledge, and I still intend to use it in the future. So using that here, it definitely helps with the sales side of it. So
Sure.
getting into the director of sales position allowed me to utilize what I learned in the master's regarding hospitality and the sales side of it.
Krystal, you were an athlete growing up, right?
I was. I'm all my life. I did softball. I mean, I started off with baseball, really. Baseball, softball, volleyball, track. I mean, basketball, everything.
Wow.
I did it all. And I mean, I obviously didn't go professional, but I was good. I wasn't that good.
What was your your sport of choice?
If
Like
you
the
would have
one
gone
that you
pro.
really, yeah, if you would have gone pro, what
Oh
was the
man,
sport?
softball all the way.
Softball. Yeah.
Yes, I love softball. I've been watching Alabama lately, and it's just they're so good. I love Coach Murphy. Like he's an amazing coach. I don't know what it is about coaches that just there's certain coaches out there that just have that energy about them. That's just all teamwork, do it together. And I had one coach in high school that was that way, and man, she made us run so much. Any little mistake, I mean, we were running all the time. So Coach Murphy's like that. I don't know if y'all know Pop from the Spurs. He's
Of course.
yeah, so he's one of my favorite
The
too. Like he's
legend.
yes,
Popovich.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you spent a lot of time in the sports world. So, but in college, you also, in those early years, you were working, you were helping learning how to set up events, right? So from your time with Campus Rec, you're out there setting up tables and chairs and doing that kind of stuff to your first internship that got over with the SMG. So, talk to me about that entry from college into the world of live events.
Well, so I know on that end, with the setting of the tables at the Campus Rec was definitely one, but to go back a little bit further within the in my college years with A&M Corpus, uh, one of my classes required us to do it was called Dig Pink. It was breast cancer awareness with volleyball, and our objective was to get the most attendance there. That was, as the class, that is your goal. And so every year, every class did that. And of course, you wanted to beat
This
the
is
class
interesting.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is interesting. I like this
and
idea.
so
Have the class do the marketing for the event. I like it.
yeah, so it was really cool. And so I think that's what really drove me. Like that is literally what live event industry is the attendance. That is your goal, is
Yeah.
to get the most attendance there. So I think that's where it all kind of started for me, because we outdid the class before, with over 1,000 people at the game, and it was crowded, it was packed, and so we definitely got that A. And we did everything beforehand. We did the pregame stuff with all the little activities outside, and then of course everybody coming into the game. So the engagement behind it, I guess that's where also the marketing started behind me
Sure.
with. So it was really cool. So going from that into getting my internship with SMG was honestly crazy, because they already had their two interns, and so they interviewed me with three different people, and it was HR, sales, and marketing, and I was their unique intern. So I was going to be the intern that was a helper for each division, each
Mm.
department. And so it was really cool that I got the experience between all three. And so I was definitely one of a kind there, that they took on for me to be in that role. And then that's where I learned a lot of HR, really. That's where it all started.
Well, yeah, it's funny because you talk about those different roles, but over the 3 years you're there at SMG, you're, event staff, you're a cashier, you're working in HR, you were assistant director of event services and event coordinator. So what was this drive to keep, finding new areas that, challenged you?
Um, I wanted to find what I really loved, and I have that passion for being in the sports industry, and I really thought it was operations. That's where it started. So within my internship, I ended up getting the HR position, and then I transitioned into operations, and then transitioned to event coordinator, and I absolutely loved it. Loved everything about it. Loved talking with the clients from the beginning to the end. The fact that you are their primary person for everything. There were so many things that we did that was just off the walls with the clients. Just everything was just so amazing, and I loved the operation side of it. And then I wanted to I knew I wanted to start a family, and I was like, this is not the job for that. I mean, I lived at the building, literally lived there from 5 a.m. to almost 11 at night or midnight on show days. It was just crazy. It was all over the place. And then so that's when I went into the marketing side, and with marketing, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the aspect of it and getting out there, the activations, sponsorships, and got into premium services. And right then and there, that's where I found my niche. That's where I found where my passion truly lied, was with the premium services. The clients behind there, the experience, putting the experience out there for them. It was just, I was always in awe of it every single time of a show day, just seeing everybody so happy, so engaged with the event. So from over the years, the 8 years being with SMG, it was crazy. It was just such a ride to find what I really love to do and love being around, really. And I'm still with that passion. We had a conference this past week in San Antonio, and we got to tour Frost Bank Center at the during a show day. And it just brought everything back, everything, all the passion. Oh, yeah. And it was so cool to see it, because it's been so long. It's been over 5 years that I've been able to be back of house of a show. And so being there just brought it all back up, of, the passion behind it and the love behind, this is why we do what we do. And I just love that. I don't know, so much passion.
I'm glad you mentioned the word passion, because on your LinkedIn you shared this sign that someone has hanging up that says, you can replace any employee's position, but you can never replace their passion. And I definitely feel that coming from you. So when true. I talk to you, you just feel the passion for what you do come through everything you do.
Well, thank you. I love that, because it's so funny that you brought that up, because I feel that with people every time I talk about the things that I love when it comes to this industry. It just, I geeked out so hard at Frost Bank Center. Like, you have no idea. I was like, oh my God,
I have an idea.
Yeah, no, we get it. We get it. Come on.
Trust me.
You're talking to people who do this for. We love to geek out over this stuff. Yeah.
We almost are so nerdy that we started a podcast about events.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's so fun. I mean, it's so fun to check out all these different venues and. Yeah, it is. I'm the same way. It doesn't matter the venue size. It can be literally a small club if I'm in a city and I see it, or if it's a theater. Stadium. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm usually like, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, and I get to be the annoying one that asks them all these detailed questions like, what do you do that? Neat. Where's the storage for that? Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I've never seen this in a venue before. And they're like,
yes.
But usually venue nerds like being asked that, because they don't get that from the public. So they're like, oh, let me show you.
Show me those blueprints. Yes, I want to see those blueprints. 100%.
Right, exactly. Where's the secret room?
Yeah, what's the secret?
Yeah, so we also toured a theater. Was it the Aztec? I can't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh, in San Antonio, and it was so beautiful. I had never been there. The artwork, the woodwork in it is gorgeous, and it's just, if y'all have a chance, definitely take a look. You would love it.
Krystal, you mentioned your husband. Obviously, you're got a lot going on, but it probably takes we know it takes a lot to support somebody who's in the live event industry or in the events business. So tell us a little about your husband, how you guys met, and how long you've been together. And I understand you have 3 kids, right?
Yes, we do. So another funny part of that is we met in the industry. I was event staff and he was the banquet manager. And to this day, I'll never forget. I was at guest services and he came up to me with little did he know it was my favorite food. It was ribs. And he offered, he's in catering. So he brought me ribs and asked me if I wanted them. And I was like, I would love them, but if you give them to me, then you have to give them to everybody else. It wouldn't, that is what they taught us, like one for all kind of deal. And so, yeah, honestly, after that, we just started talking, and then the rest is history. And here we are with 3 kids later, 2 boys and a girl, 7, 5, and 2.5.
Oh my gosh.
And we talk about not having enough hours in the day before even getting to that.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you.
So 10 years married now.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. This year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, before we wrap things up here, because I feel like you've got stuff to get to. I feel guilty.
No.
We're going to hit you with our fast 5. It's just 5 quick questions looking for your short instant response. First up, what was your very first concert?
The very first concert was Warped Tour, which was multiple concerts.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Saw AFI, Silverstein.
Wow,
so many bands.
Nice.
It was so awesome.
I bet that was fun. Did you have the scene haircut? The big bangs that were combed over?
I didn't, because to be honest, I wasn't really into the music all that much, but my sisters were going, and I was like, you know what, I'll tag along, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was so amazing. I knew some of AFI songs, but like it was such an experience. Like it was so cool seeing all the bands and even meeting them, because back then, they didn't have that much security. It was, they had just the tent set up with tables.
They all roam around and stuff.
Yeah. It was very, very casual.
It was a simpler time.
Cool. Yes, for sure.
Do you have a favorite show you've been to? Favorite concert?
Oh, yes. I'll never forget it. Slipknot. I'm not even a fan of Slipknot, but man, they put on a show. It was so cool. They started off with 2 people on the sides with on the drum sets, and their drum sets came up, like lifted. It was the best. I was like, this is the coolest show ever. It was just massive production and just amazing to watch.
What's your favorite thing to do on a day off?
What's a day off? If I could, it would be go to the beach, because I do love the water, and I do love, trying to decompress and just relax as much as I could, and of course with the nice cold drink.
Nice.
All right, you get the old team back together. You can play softball anywhere on the planet. What ballpark are you playing softball in?
Ooh, that's a good
Road
question.
Stadium at Alabama.
There you go. Very nice.
Wow.
It's a cool facility, and I've been there once, and it was just like, you're just in awe. If not there, definitely in Oklahoma, because that's where they have the World Series, and man, that one looks pretty cool too. Never been there.
Last question for you. What's your theme song? There's a reality TV show all about the life of Krystal. What's the song that plays over the opening credits?
Oof. I'm gonna have to go with I want to say, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Mano, All of the Above, because on that song, the lyrics, to me, it just drives who I am. I'm so many different people. I wear so many different hats. I have so many different experiences, and it's all the above. I'm all the above, and I love that about it. That
That's great.
it expresses how many where I'm going, how I'm getting there, and you're not stopping me, kind of deal. So I love that about it.
That's great. Krystal, thank you so much for the time today. If somebody wants to reach out to you or follow the venues on social, throw out websites, where any of the plugs you want to throw out here?
LinkedIn, definitely for me, would be Krystal. I want to say it's Krystal Gonzalez. And then our social media is everything at R&B Fairgrounds. So all of our tags are at RMB Fairgrounds. And of course, our website, www.rmbfairgrounds.com.
There you go. Hey, really appreciate the time. Great to hear about what you've got going on down there, and can't wait to hear about your next adventures.
Well, thank you for having me. I am truly blessed to have this opportunity, and thank you guys I truly enjoyed this conversation with you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys at EVMC next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look forward to it.
This year, I'm sorry,
Likewise.
this year.
That's right.
Well, next year and this year.
All years.
Hey, big thanks to everybody for listening to this episode of Adventures in Venueland. Remember, you can subscribe and find more episodes wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We do love your 5-star reviews because it helps other folks find us. Until the next adventure, I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. Thanks for listening, everyone. Adventures in Venueland is a side project of the Event and Venue Marketing Conference, a marketing conference that brings together diversified event and venue professionals to cultivate education, collaboration, and innovation for the growing sports and live entertainment industry. Find out more at eventvenuemarketing.com.
Audio editing and mixing by Camille Faulkner.
Design and digital advertising by Megan Ebeck.
Copywriting and publicity by Samantha Marker.
Guest booking and brand strategies by Paul Hooper.
Guest research by Dave Rettelberger.
Marketing strategies by Paul Hooper, Megan Ebeck, and Samantha Marker. Thanks for joining us. Until the next adventure.